Well, I believe I'm coming down with something. You can probably hear it in my voice. I started yesterday with a sore throat, and now I'm feeling a little bit like I'm not on the planet. I'm feeling a physical abnormality. So, I don't know. Now I can't have people come up and touch me. But that's a great excuse. I don't mind being mildly sick because I announce it, and that way people can't come near me. And my radius of the wall is now well pronounced. They can't come in to my aura. So when I see somebody and they say, "Ron, how you doing?" and they outstretch their hand to shake my hand, I draw my hands back and I say, no. You don't understand. I'm not feeling well. For you even to be in my general vicinity, which would be within 2 miles of me, you could get really, really sick. So I can't touch you. I can't talk to you. You can't be near me. We cannot interact. We cannot have a conversation. Don't even call me. Nothing. I'm in quarantine by myself. Ron, shouldn't you be seeing a doctor? No, I don't want the doctor to get sick. Never understood that. Explain this to me if you have just a moment, please. And then we'll just get out of here. Oh, man. How come doctors don't get sick? Do they ever get sick? I don't know any doctors personally. I mean, I have some that live in my neighborhood. But again, I don't talk to them. Why don't they ever? They're seeing sick people day and night. The idea of seeing a doctor for the most part is because you're sick. These are people that have germs and horrible things creeping on their skin and horrible things going on. They have temperatures and infections and just because doctors wear those little rubber gloves, they're still breathing the air that you're in those tiny little examining rooms, and it's the both of you. They don't wear a mask over their face like a dentist. No, they're breathing in your infected air, your germ-ridden stuff that you're spewing into the sky. But yet doctors, I've never gone to a doctor's appointment, and they say, "Mr. Van Dam, we apologize. Your doctor's sick today and won't be coming in." Well, I didn't know doctors got sick. I thought that wasn't allowed. How's that possible? How could a doctor get sick? Wouldn't they be able to heal themselves immediately? Like Oral Roberts or something like that? Some of you don't know who Oral Roberts is. That's where we have this age divide. Anyway, yeah, how can that happen? Doctors, when a doctor's sick, I say to myself, well, how good is that doctor? How can a doctor get sick? Are you serious? I mean, if that was a good doctor, that wouldn't happen. That doctor would have heeded its own advice and taken pills accordingly. How can a doctor be sick? Get out of here. I want to see my doctor right now. I think it's a ruse. I think you're just trying to hide your doctor because of some horrible thing that happened to your doctor. I don't know. I had a doctor about 10, 12 years ago who broke his arm. And I remember going for my physical, and he's supposed to put on a rubber glove and shove his finger up my ass to see if I have any prostate problems. But he was right-handed, and his arm was in a sling, and he couldn't shove his finger up my ass because his arm was in a sling. Well, this presents a problem. So I figured, well, he'll shove his finger up my ass on his left hand then. But no, he wasn't ambidextrous or anything like that, and this has to be done properly. So we actually called somebody in to do it for him, and I said, well, what good does that do? Don't you have to feel if there's like any stuff going on in there? What difference does it make if somebody else does it? What are you going to have? Could you describe to me what you felt, Bob? Yeah, I went in there with my finger, and it was good. It was really good. I don't know if it's hemorrhoids just on the left there was like a little speed bump. I don't know what that was. But other than that, it seems to be clean. I think got in there pretty well, too. I had some pretty good depth going on there. I don't know. It was enjoyable, I must say. It wasn't a horrible experience. I don't know how it was for Ron, but no, I didn't find anything in there. No extraneous things. No boots, or no nuts or bolts in there. It's pretty much clean. It's just that little speed bump on the side. I don't know what that was. I get confused. I get confused. So I guess doctors don't get sick. I don't understand that. Maybe I should have been a doctor. I would have never gotten sick. I mean, I think that's just when you get your diploma from the School of Medicine, it says on the bottom, and you will never get sick. It's your diploma. This is one of the perks. You don't get sick. You just won't get sick because I guess the doctors, their immune system, because they see so many sick people and they deal with so many germs, that I guess their immune system just builds up against it. My immune system, no, not so much. I know I have an immune system, but I don't know where it is. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, so to speak. Didn't work today. What's up with my immune system? I have to get a flu shot pretty soon, too. Yeah, I always look forward to that because half the time they don't work. They do the best they can. They try to figure out what strain is coming down the pike, and they inoculate it for you. Make sure that you pretty much don't get that thing. And then another strain says, well, didn't get inoculated for this one, and it knocks you down. But it's better than nothing. And I'm telling you, everybody should get a flu shot. There's no reason not to get a flu shot, especially if you have a child. You have to have the child. Otherwise, you're making a decision for your child, and that's not right. I mean, it is right, but it's the wrong decision, I think. Get your flu shot. Just get it. It's not like you got to go to the doctor for it. You can get it at a pharmacy. A couple of years in a row, I got my flu shot from a supermarket. Yeah, there was a little woman sitting on a little carpet in the middle of the supermarket with a chair and a card table. And she was giving out flu shots, and I thought, and it didn't really cost me anything. I don't know. I'm not sure. It was a weird feeling, getting a flu shot in the supermarket, and people are walking by and looking at me and going, is that guy getting a flu shot in the middle of the frozen food aisle? What the hell's going on in this place? Man, what a supermarket this is. They're giving free colonoscopies in the fruit section. You can go over there, and it's crazy. Did I start the show yet? I don't recall. I don't think I did. Let's start it.
On the air everywhere, this is New England Broadcasting.
Welcome to the Ron Van Dam Show. Hold on tight. Things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, whatever your liquid libation may be in the morning, and join us as we take a look at the world around us. As much as it's a pleasure to be with you, the pleasure is actually all yours. And now, here's your host, Ron Van Dam.
Thank you, Julesy. Welcome to the program. Well, it's October just about, and that's like a smack in the face, you know? You go through the summer and you go on vacation, it's hot outside, and you're sitting there drinking pina coladas and mowing your lawn, and next thing you know, the leaves are coming off the trees. My significant girl has said that we're going to Vermont for the night. And I thought, oh, okay, fine, nice. Why? Why? And she said, we're going to go up to Vermont and watch the leaves change. Excuse me, please? Yes, we're going to go up to Vermont and watch the leaves change. I see. Okay, let me point out a few things here. Not that I'm objecting to it. Let me point out a few things. First of all, if you have a tree, the leaves going to change in your backyard. Why would you drive 4 hours to watch leaves change when you can sit in your living room, look out the window, and see the leaves change? This perplexes me to the point where I must verbalize my concern. She says the leaves are more colorful in Vermont. Huh. How about the rain in Spain? Where does that fall? I don't know about that. I've seen some pretty colorful leaves in my backyard over the years. I don't really agree with that. She says that's where it's beautiful. You drive through the countryside and you look at these lovely, colorful trees and leaves. It's breathtaking. I said, well, how long does my breath have to be taken? Because here's my deal. I go up there. I see the beautiful trees with the colorful leaves. Then what do I do? I mean, yes, there's the beautiful trees with the beautiful colored leaves. I've taken that in. That was a good 10, 15 minutes of really staring at those colorful leaves on those trees. I get that. But that's about 15 minutes of my time. I get it. The leaves are very colorful. I see colorful leaves over here. I see colorful leaves over there. How many hours of colorful leaves do I need to see before I'm colorful leaved out? And when I get back home and my trees start turning colorful leaves, will that not be a letdown at that point? I can't appreciate the colorful leaves on my trees because I've already outdone myself with the colorful leaves in Vermont. So that was my first question, to the point where I was labeled as being stupid. And then I said, well, okay, what is there to do in Vermont beyond watching the leaves change? And this is, to me, like someone saying to you, let's sit outside of our house and watch the paint dry. Same thing to me. I just put down a fresh coat of paint, Bob. Now the best part. I'm going to get a lawn chair, sit outside, and watch the paint dry. Should take about like 4 hours, but wow, what an experience, man. I don't get it. So I said, so what's going on in Vermont after the leaves change or as they're changing, and I've gotten my fill of colored leaves? What is there to do in Vermont? She says, well, there's always the maple syrup. And I said, yes, there is always the maple syrup. I don't understand how that was an answer to my question. There's always the maple syrup. First of all, I don't particularly care for maple syrup. It's a little sugary for me. It doesn't really come into play unless I'm eating a pancake or a waffle, which I don't really do. So Vermont maple syrup, I'm sure you're going to be buying it, and I'm sure we're just going to be throwing it out 6 months later because no one touched it. But Ron, it's real. It's real, pure, natural maple syrup. Yes. Again, that didn't answer my question. Yes, it is, of course. Real, pure maple syrup, but that's nice. What's the point? What else can I do in Vermont? She says, oh, there's some beautiful, lovely country stores. See? And what do they have in these country stores? Real, pure maple syrup. I don't understand. I don't get it. What else can we do up there? Well, I don't know. Okay, so I'm driving 4 hours to look at some colored leaves and some bottles of real pure maple syrup that I'll never be using anyway, but will be buying for sure. Oh, they have knickknacks. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. I'm not familiar with your terms. What the hell's a knick-knack? Individually, I don't know what a knick is, and I don't know what a knack is. You putting those two words together doesn't make it any better for me. I don't know what a knick-knack is. I've heard this song that a lot of you probably don't remember, like a knick-knack paddywhack. I have no idea what that is. I don't know what a paddywhack is. That whole song was stupid. So don't say knick-knack, because you're not saying anything. If I walked into a store and said, I'd like to buy one of your knick-knacks, they'd probably say, the hell are you talking about? All we have is real pure Vermont maple syrup. I know. I think a knick-knack would be, they have those brooms. They're not brooms. They just take a stick and they tie straw to the bottom of it. And they call it a broom. That's a knick-knack. I would never use something like that. Well, Ron, you don't use it. You put it on the wall for decoration. Okay, wait a second. So you're going to ask me to buy an antiquated, stupid-looking broom and mount it on the wall so people can look at it. I'm floored by your responses here because it makes no sense. Who takes a broom and mounts it on their wall so you can look at it? I don't understand you. I don't get it. That's like taking a toilet plunger and mounting it on the wall so people can just look at it. That's not a knick-knack. That's a paddywhack. I don't know. I think I'm from the same planet. I'm not sure. I'll have to check the map. But there's a lot of things that go on here that I don't quite understand. And I've been around here for quite a while. I set up shop here years ago. I don't understand anything. Knick-knack. Oh, my nose is running all over the place. My nose is getting plenty of exercise. It's running. I'm not. Yeah, I'm feeling a little under the weather. I don't even know what that means. What is, I'm under the weather. It means you're not feeling well. But I don't understand what that phrase has to do with it. If I'm not feeling well, what does it have to do with the fact that I'm weather-related? I'm under the weather? I'm always under the weather. This is where I live, under it. I don't live on top of the weather. Then I'd live in a cloud or a space shuttle or something. I'm always under the weather. What does that mean? Why are you saying things to me that don't make sense? Why am I looking at leaves changing colors after a 4-hour drive? What's that about? And she said to me, well, we get to spend time together. Uh-huh. What's the plus to this? How is that something that convinces me that that's good? The more time I spend with somebody, the more chances there are of something going horribly awry. I guarantee you, you spend enough time with me, there will come a point when you'll say to yourself, all right, that's enough. Let's just go somewhere individually for a while and stop this time together crap. That's what's going to occur. A 4-hour car drive with me? Each way? No. You're asking for punishment. I'm a lovely person. I can't even sit in a car for 4 hours with a lovely person. It could be the nicest, most lovely person in the world. 4 hours is too much. I'm thinking more 3 to 4 minutes. That's my tolerance level. After 4 minutes, someone's got to get out of the car and walk the rest of the way. It ain't going to be me. I don't know. I don't quite understand what's going on here. I'm a little behind the times with this stuff. Remember when you met somebody, when you were young, in your 20s or in your late teens, and you said to yourself, I want to spend the rest of my life with that person? You have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea. I want to spend every minute of my life with that person. Sure? Are you sure? Or did you not have enough life yet to be able to make a decision like that? Because if you're 40 years old or 50 years old and you meet somebody, the chances of you saying, I want to spend the rest of my life with that person and every single minute with them, chances of that get more slim. I love you, but I'll see you Thursday night, for we'll go out to dinner, then you go home, I go home. That should be enough. That should be enough for both of us. That should be enough. Just, Let's be honest, man. The older you get, the less you want that. Yeah, because you already know. You've already been with people for a period of time, and you already know that's not an optimal situation. Even if you like people, there comes a point. You just need a little alone time. I mean, God, that's what bathrooms are for. Because usually when people go to the bathroom, they're by themselves. Whether it be taking a shower, which is great because the sound of the shower kind of blocks out the other noise as well. People can't talk to you while you're taking a shower. It doesn't make any sense. You can't hear them. They can't hear you. It's very, very alone time. Or sitting on a toilet doing a number 2. Most people will clear the room. Even if they happen to hang out in the bathroom with you, they will leave at that point. Taking a good dump is another great example of defined alone time. The bathroom really is an important room. It's the only solitude you have. Some people say, well, I like to get in my car and drive because it's just so quiet. It's just me and the car. Well, unfortunately, in a car, they have passenger seats. And someone could get in the passenger seat and talk to you while you're driving, and that ruins your little solitude booth. No, it's the bathroom, man. That's the place. That's the place. That's the only place in the world where you have alone time. Just you and the little bathroom. It's optimal. Love your bathroom. Set up a relationship with it. It's just you in the bathroom. Speaking of the bathroom, today's guest, we're going to talk about this Medicare thing. And when you get older, that becomes quite important because that's health insurance, not free. But a lot of aspects of it are. Not totally, though. And you get to choose. And this is coming up on the time when you do. And most seniors are very confused as to which plan to choose, which is the right for them based on what medication they may be taking, what physical problems they may have. And you may be saying, Ron, nice show for seniors, but what does that have to do with me in my 30s or whatever? Well, you have parents that are probably in that age group, and it's important for you to understand that so you can help them along with that. That's a decision they have to make. So it's really for everybody. So we're going to take a look at that with a person of great importance. And we'll do that right after you make your own choice.
You are listening to The Ron Van Dam Show. Did they just not offer you a second choice? Or did you not have a lot of time to choose? Help me out here. I don't understand. What were you thinking?
Rebecca Rabbit joins us, and we're talking about, she's an expert in the field of Medicare solutions and coverage. She's Vice President, Medicare Solutions, talking about PharmD. And, well, boy, is this confusing or what for the layperson? Just, do I have the right coverage? There's so many things to look at. How do I know I'm making the right decision? It's confusing.
It absolutely is.
And yet, it's on our backs to make the right decision. It's like buying auto insurance, I suppose, but it's even more consequential than that, actually. Because
it is.
Yeah, I may not use my auto insurance, but I sure will use my medical coverage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what do we do? I mean, how do we diagnose our own drug plans?
Well, you're right. It is very confusing because there's many choices that Medicare members have in most of the regions. So you need to start your research early because you do have many choices. But there's a couple of key things to think about. One is to think about the medications that you're taking and think about how much you can afford because there'll be the monthly premium. There will also be the copay or the coinsurance at the pharmacy. The second thing to think about is all your drugs covered on the formulary, which is the list of medications, and whether the pharmacy you like to look or go to is actually in the network. And there could be changes from one year to the next.
Yeah, that's the thing. You always think that it's done, and then before, I mean, I remember speaking to you what seemed to be 10 minutes ago, but I know it wasn't. It was like around the same time last year, but I mean, we got to go through this every year pretty much. We have the ability to change. You don't have to, but you have the ability to do so. When is open enrollment?
You do. Open enrollment starts October 15th, which is just a couple of weeks away. And it closes on December 7th. So you don't have a whole lot of time to complete the research and make sure you get enrolled before December 7th.
Yeah, now this is the Part D supplemental plan, is that right?
It's actually a Part D Medicare. It could be with the medical. It could also be a standalone plan.
All right. Well, that makes it even more confusing.
It does.
It does. I wish there was just something where you would just do a checklist and say, these are the medications I take, this is the doctor that I have, and this is the pharmacy that I use, and then it spits out all the list of possibilities.
Actually, there is a website that can do that. You can go onto a Medicare website called Plan Finder and put in your medications and put in your pharmacy, and it will bring up the plans that are available for you.
Wow.
That can help you start to sort through what it's going to cost you, how you can access those medications, because you want to think about whether there's restrictions on them as well. And also you can see the plan star ratings, which is a quality measure. And we recommend that you look at plans that are 3 stars or higher.
Okay. Now, we're not just talking to Medicare members here. We're talking to the younger generation that has to make sure that their parents, etc., are taking advantage of these situations. It's not, it's the target's everybody, really, in that sense, as far as education is concerned.
That's a great point. There are many caregivers that want to make sure their parents or their grandparents make the right decision.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, it's becoming a little less confusing. Thank you very much. You're helping me out a little bit here. Why were new cards issued recently? That was a big thing. Most people have received their cards. Not everybody, I suppose, at this point. But why did they do that?
There was a concern that Social Security numbers could actually get exposed and then be used for fraud. And so they issued new identification numbers to all Medicare beneficiaries to help reduce the likelihood that the Social Security number would be exposed or that members would be subject to fraud. Yeah.
It took them a while to figure that out, I think, huh?
It did.
Okay. All right. Are prices going up? Are they rather level? Are they like home and auto insurance where every year you can depend on it going up?
Actually, premiums held pretty steady for 2018, which is great news. Certainly, there's been a lot of press around drug prices and concern overall. But really, there are great opportunities for Medicare beneficiaries to find very affordable plans that can help them stay within their monthly budget. But they need to look at the premium as well as the copay and the coinsurance.
Okay. Now, what are some of the things that we're doing wrong that we that need attention, and we should really start considering more heavily that we haven't gotten here yet?
I think really assuming that the plan you're in is going to stay the same next year. We know many plans don't, and while many of us don't like the confusing landscape to make the decision, you need to realize that plans do change the formularies or the drugs that they cover. Sometimes they add restrictions to those drugs, as well as change the pharmacies that are in the network. Some of those changes can be very positive, but you can also find plans that have preferred pharmacies where there's a lower copay, or even maybe have changed your medications to a lower copay tier, which will save you money.
That one of the unknowns is that you go to the doctor and they say, okay, you have this condition, we're going to treat it, we're going to give you medication for this, and then you go to the pharmacy and you find out, and this is in the middle of the year already, and you find out, well, that drug isn't covered as completely as it could be otherwise, or not at all. You didn't know that was coming. So I guess some of these things you have to live with for a short period of time before you do make a change.
You can. You can also ask your doctor or pharmacist if there's a more affordable option that can be used.
Okay.
As a substitution. You can, certainly formularies have lots of options for you, and it's just a matter of the doctor knowing what's available on your plan.
Do some pharmacies actually say, this is the price, but it is available as in generic form? Do they do that?
They do. They do. Many pharmacists, want to make it affordable for their members as well. Yeah. So they will often call the doctor after asking you and see if they can use the generic.
Yeah. I like that part where the pharmacies and the doctors, I don't have to call back and forth. I used to have to do that. They used to say, well, your doctor hasn't, you got to call your doctor and you got to settle this. I used to have to make, like caught in between. Now it's kind of like a little bit easier, I've found.
It is. It's a great partnership.
Yeah. All right. We don't have time in this conversation to go through everything, so where would our listeners go in order to get more information about this?
I want to direct them to roadmapformedicare.com. That's www.roadmapformedicare.com, where they can get a lot of instructional information and sign up for a monthly newsletter.
Okay, it's that time of year again. This is like taxes and Christmas. I don't know. Well, one was bad and one was good, I think. I don't know. I get confused. But it is the time of year for at least this. So thank you for bringing it to our attention before it happens. Thank you so much. We'll talk
Thank you, Ron.
Talk to you next year.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This has been great. This has just been great. I can't tell you how wonderful this has been. Here's a great thing. We can do this again tomorrow, and I'll be talking about different stuff. Maybe I'll feel better. Wouldn't that be wonderful? What do you care? What do you care? You care about yourself. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day. I wish you peace.